How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. Today we finally had a green day. It has been seemingly forever since we went a little vertical here with crypto. Bitcoin was up 2% or so, and everything else was starting to kind of go up with it. What we see here now from MATIC is just an absolutely awesome chart so far. Everything seems to be playing out quite nicely. Again, previously I had mentioned, hey, if we start to cross this line at the 276 mark, maybe take some profits. You see, as soon as we did that, we had the following day kind of take a big dip, and then from there the market tumbled, and that's where Bitcoin started to kind of roll over pretty bad as well. And when that happened, I said, all right, so there's going to be 2 points to take profits here as this starts to roll down. Here, along the 50, and then certainly here, because we had previously had moments here as well as here that were good buying opportunities that had touched the 100 moving average, and that's this orange line here, and even going back to here as well, I guess technically for that. So if you did that, you probably made some pretty decent gains over the last few days. So since we went here, right, the first day was there, we went up as high as 20% off of that play. So that's pretty freaking solid if you ask me. I would take 20% gains any day over the course of 3 days, pretty much any day of the week. So that is really solid there. So where does that leave us right now with MATIC going forward? Well, I would say first we have some potential resistance approaching at the 242 mark. So that would be approximately here, right? And the reason for that is because of this moment, as well as a little bit of resistance there. It was also some support along here as well. Sorry, that's a little ugly there. So we had some resistance here previously. It then flipped, had support for quite a few days. So this could be a point of resistance for us. And if that were the case, I wouldn't expect an enormous retracement, but we could certainly get one. Another thing that I'm starting to see now is a potential head and shoulders pattern. If we do something like this, maybe this next shoulder goes like this, and then we could see something either to the upside or the downside. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, keep an eye on this level. The 240 mark might be a decent point to take. Just trim a little bit of profits there, see what happens. It could do something where it starts to come up, hits its head, comes back down, and finds the moving average before it breaks through. But ultimately, we're looking super, super nice here. We have higher lows, higher highs across the board, right? So we have, I guess a high there, there, and there, and then high lows. So we have a low, low going up to these, even this guy and this one now, right? So we have a beautiful, beautiful chart playing out right now. Additionally, the RSI is right at about the 50 mark. You can even see I had previously established this kind of support line here for the RSI. We had previously broken below that, right? Because when I first made this, we were sitting at this point, and it was looking quite solid, that pattern there. We had broken below it, tested it as resistance, and now we have since flipped it. I would not be shocked if we came down at some point to test it once more before we have a big kind of rally like we had back here, or even something like that, right? But we're looking quite nice. Additionally, here we have some potential reasons to fear we could see this just like ascending wedge here on the RSI. So we could start to go up in here, hit our heads, come back down before we break up out of it and have a bigger moment like this. So we see there's been some times in the past where we've gotten kind of plateaued in terms of like hitting resistance at about the same point in the RSI. Something like that could certainly happen also. But ultimately, I think MATIC is looking great. It is primed for a big year. I think we could see some big gains somewhere up in this range potentially. And we are pretty much loaded up and ready to go, in my opinion. We could see something like, I don't want to say like a Solana or anything like that, but I wouldn't be shocked to see MATIC in the $10 range at some point down the road. Obviously not like next week or anything like that. But I think as the market begins to recover, MATIC is going to be a really, really strong contender. The biggest thing here is Ethereum for MATIC, right? So let's go back. So back on November 9th is roughly when Ethereum topped out. So let's go back to November 9th here. So November 9th. This is where MATIC was, $2. So MATIC was previously at $2 when Ethereum was at its all-time high of almost $5,000. So assuming, and since then they have been almost decoupled, right? So we see this, we see a downtrend here overall for Ethereum since November 9th, and we go back to MATIC. And since November 9th, I think it's right about here, we have an overall uptrend for MATIC. So we have separated a little bit in terms of how reliant we are on Ethereum's success. But the beautiful thing is most of the time when Ethereum is going up, MATIC is going up with it. MATIC just has not slowed down, though. It has not seen a big... I mean, obviously we've seen some big corrections, right, of 30-40% or numbers close to that, but we haven't had the steady decline that a lot of cryptos have had, right, where we've just been slowly chopping away and it's getting kind of put through the ringer there. MATIC has fortunately bounced back quite nicely. You see these, as soon as it wicks into these moving averages, it bounces right out of it and has a really healthy recovery. So that's kind of what we're expecting with MATIC, right? We're not going to see a steady climb. We're going to see big run-ups with big pullbacks, and big run-ups and big pullbacks, right? So that's what we're seeing here. Big run-up, big pullback, big run-up, big pullback. Same thing here. So we can expect something like this and then to come back down. Maybe we'll blow off the top here, right? This could certainly be possible. What could happen now is we could run all the way up to the 360 mark, you know, over the course of the next few days, weeks, whatever. And then what could happen is we could come back down and find support here again at the 240 mark. That is certainly in the realm of possibilities for MATIC. But ultimately, I think MATIC is looking amazing. The chart is looking really strong. We have great volume so far leading into the new year. And I think as the market kind of reverses, MATIC is going to be very, very powerful in the first quarter of the year here going forward. So that is what I got for you guys today on MATIC. Hopefully this was informative. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, keep an eye on this point here, the 240 mark, see what happens. If it does get rejected, look to load up along the 50 or the 100 moving average. Those historically have been pretty good moments for us, like I said, along here, here, and back here. So that is all I got for you guys today. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.